Taking a look today at the crypto market from May 31st through June 13th to understand how the end of this cycle will play out and how astrology is influencing these markets. During the new moon, the moon was squaring to the north node. We had some unexpected prices, unexpected information that came out for the crypto market that has drastically affected the prices. So we'll see how the second half of the cycle will play out. And before we begin, if you are interested in joining my YouTube memberships, see below. Join. I release these videos earlier to members so you can view these videos sooner. So please join. It's a great way to support my channel and the work that I do. And if these memberships are not for you, hit the like, subscribe button and share this information so more people can see this video and help them in their financial journey. This is the full moon. It's on May 31st, 4:44 a.m. It's a Sunday. It's in Sagittarius at 9 degrees, 55 minutes. This is the general tone, the undercurrents of the market. When there's other transits that I'm discussing in New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin's chart for the crypto market, keep this information in mind because it will be very important to how the other transits will be influenced. The north node is squaring to the full moon. So in the new moon, the moon was squaring the north node, and now in this full moon, it is squaring the north node. This is also highlighting those sudden interruptions in the market, those unexpected events that happen that cause the markets to have very challenged momentum, negative momentum. Now, crypto market, this has started right around the new moon, when the new moon was in May. So will this happen again? There's a possibility it could. It's just something to have to be aware of. And if there is a sudden unexpected downturn in the market, you will see it, it'll be in your face, and you'll know when the markets turn and become very negative momentum. Any positive transits going on will be ignored and will likely just continue in this downtrend until it turns around. Usually it lasts for quite a bit of time. It could be a week to 2 weeks. It could be for the rest of the cycle. So it's just something to watch. Sagittarius, what is Sagittarius? Jupiter rules Sagittarius, expansion, optimism. Sagittarius and Jupiter, they also do rule the housing markets, judges, laws to that degree. Something with the Federal Reserve could also be something that's very important to both of these financial markets. So Jupiter, it's in Cancer. Cancer is emotional, wealth expansion through trading. Over optimism is something else to be aware of, especially in the New York Stock Exchange. I know it's been going up as if forever. Just keep in mind this moon squaring this north node. Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is squaring to Chiron during this full moon. And this is very important. It's losses due to this emotional volatility and emotional instability. Market instability will also follow. But this could be a theme of something that's happening in this last part of the cycle, the last 2 weeks of the cycle. The moon is at 9 degrees. This is the Sagittarius degree, which is ruled by Jupiter. So it's sudden gains, unexpected profits, but also unexpected losses. And the north node square of the moon, that's just high amounts of speculation. It could be speculation made in fear. It could be speculation made in this over-optimism. But it's just something to be aware of. There could be just a lot of speculation this last 2 weeks of the month. Something else that I'm noticing that I did not notice as I was going through this, Mars is squaring to Pluto. That is some tense energies, power struggles, power dynamics, challenges in the power of the financial markets, of the crypto market, who is taking action, causing the markets to take a sudden downtrend. The over-optimism being deflated. Too much optimism causing the other side of it. Just be aware, be diligent. If you made a profit, take it, and then enter back into your trade, because there is a possibility of a reversal in the market, a severe downtrend in the market, especially with the full moon squaring to this north node, along with Mars squaring to Pluto. And I'm saying that because I've studied market crashes, and Mars always seems to be the factor that's always there. It's always talking to an outer planet. In this case, it's squaring to Pluto. I'm not saying there's going to be a market crash this time around. It's something to keep in the back of your mind during this last part of the cycle. It's also the second full moon, so there's more emotions, more trades being made due to the emotions. Sagittarius, expanded optimism, but it could also be expanding fear. So please just keep that in mind. For Bitcoin, I use a sunrise chart. 1715 is the time of birth. January 3rd, 2009. London, England is the location that I use for the birth chart. Transits, I use New York, New York. So the moon is in Sagittarius. That is Bitcoin's 11th house. During this time, the moon is sextile to Bitcoin's north node. That is actually very positive. This could help to mitigate some of the general transits, moon squaring to the north node. That's in the general transits chart. So this could be looking more optimistic than the first half of this cycle. It's possible. It's possible. Also, during this full moon, Saturn is still in the square to Bitcoin's sun, and Venus is opposite to Bitcoin's sun. I think that these two are also going to be one of the main driving factors, because the sun is one of the most important things, because it represents Bitcoin itself. Venus rules the midhaven in Bitcoin. So with the sun opposite to it, it's causing a challenge. It's causing some fear. It's causing some questioning, volatility, emotions, questioning the emotion, questioning the authority of Bitcoin. And Saturn is the limitations, the restrictions, lowering resistance, and lowering support. And the Saturn is also at 12 degrees. It is conjunct Bitcoin's IC. It's not exact. It's within 1 degree, but it's still at the bottom. So it's still causing this pulling down effect of the prices, causing markets to lower, prices to lower. But there's still a ray of hope with the sun sextile to Bitcoin's north node. Saturn is squaring Bitcoin's sun. That's exact on June 17th. It's not during this cycle. It's during the next new moon. So the energy is building up now. It's high tension, high stress, a lot of pressure on the prices, on the market. I'm recording this on the 25th, so I do not know how the 29th energy is going to go. Neptune will be conjunct to Bitcoin's moon. This can either send shockwaves throughout the market, positive or negative. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Neptune is very unpredictable. It's going to be towards the bottom of the chart, so part of me leans towards this is going to be challenging. It's going to be an unexpected move. So whatever that energy is on the 29th, 27th, even the 28th, that could also dictate how this moon goes. That'll be something to keep aware of, because this could also be a reflection of how the rest of the 2 weeks will go. All these together is high pressure, challenged, lower support, building accumulation. With Saturn at the bottom here, it could be also people quietly in the background building up, accumulating crypto, accumulating Bitcoin or whatever other coins they're accumulating. Slower momentum, a major test of confidence within the market. With the moon sextile to Bitcoin's north node, it could be longer term stability under the volatility. Again, that's that accumulation. People are just accumulating, having more of a long-term goal set up. The day of the full moon, which is May 31st, I feel that this could be a challenging day with Venus opposite to the ascendant. But it's going to also depend on Neptune next to Bitcoin's moon. Anything that can happen will happen in crypto market, and I feel that this is one of those settings. So depending on what happens on the 29th will also be an indicator of what could happen on this full moon. But as of right now, Venus opposite to Bitcoin Sun and the ascendant. This looks to be a challenging day for the 31st. June 1st to the 4th, I do have this as a volatile mix. There's a mix of positive, challenging transits. The 1st and the 2nd, I do have a note that this could also follow the trend of Neptune next to Bitcoin's moon. Neptune transits, they're sudden, they're unexpected, but they do have a duration of time that they last. That transit is exact on the 29th, 30, 31, 1, 2. Up to June 2nd, that transit could be in effect. So whatever that's doing, and that is however that is influencing the market, that could be how the trend is for the 1st and 2nd. If not, the 1st looks to be pretty positive. Action between buyers and sellers. Market flows pretty well because Mercury is trine Bitcoin's Venus and Mercury enters Cancer. Very Mercury themed trading. Mercury rules trading. So trading is flowing. The value of prices, the value of the market is going very well. The emotional overtone, the emotional sentiment is positive. On June 2nd, Mercury is opposite to Bitcoin's Pluto. Sun sextile to Saturn. Headlines will dictate how this day goes. Sun sextile to Saturn in the general transits is very positive, and that's good for Bitcoin as well. So morning, I say, could be more fearful state of the market, more volatility, power struggles of the price trying to rise higher, but not able to. And then in the later afternoon, early evening, this happens at 6:48 p.m. I'd say about 5 o'clock, we could start to see the market changing over into more of a positive greed-filled state. June the 3rd, Mercury square Bitcoin's moon, Mercury trine the North Node, and Mercury squaring to Neptune in the general transits chart. Very Mercury-filled day. Trading, a lot of trading back and forth. Volatility, high volatility around this 6 p.m. time because these Mercury square the moon, Mercury trine the North Node, those happen pretty much at the same time. So a lot of high volatile tension occurring, especially during this late afternoon, early evening period. Evening, though, as the end of the day unfolds, Mercury squaring that North Neptune could be more challenged. So I would say that the 3rd, it could start with more of this optimistic tone earlier in the morning, change over to this volatility, but end in fear. June the 4th, Venus trine Uranus, that sudden unexpected news, unexpected price trends, and Mercury opposite to Bitcoin's Mars. Aggressive trading due to different news and information that happens. This could also be, I want to say volatile because in the morning it could start off in this positive direction, positive momentum. And then by the early afternoon, again, by this 6 o'clock time, change over to more of a fearful state. Very optimistic with Venus trine Uranus, a sudden changing or turnaround of the market. As early morning, because this happens at 3:50 a.m., the market could just literally rebound, turn around, and then start to build up, move up the prices, momentum, gain strength. Stronger green candles earlier in the day on the 4th. And then by the 6 p.m. time frame, again, this seems to actually be a theme, the 6 p.m., because it's on starting on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, the 6 p.m., I would say that's a time to watch for the market to change. Whether it's positive or negative, it looks to be that this around the 6 o'clock time frame, the market's going to be shifting on the 2nd through the 4th. 5th through the 9th of June. In the general transits, the 4th through the 8th, there are no transits. So we'll be looking just at Bitcoin's chart. On the 5th, Mars is in a trine to Bitcoin's Sun. Very positive, strong momentum. Trader confidence is increased. Very, very positive on the 5th. And this will likely last throughout the day. This happens about 8:30 p.m., but Mars transits are quick, they're strong, and will likely last throughout the day. June the 6th, Venus sextile to Saturn. Now, this is extremely positive. These are 2 planets in Bitcoin's chart that are very important. The midhaven Venus, ascendant, or the chart ruler Saturn. Extremely positive, I feel, on the 6th. Very positive. I would say that's going to last a majority of the day. What could change the momentum on the 6th would be Chiron squaring to Bitcoin's Jupiter. This is a challenge. This is upsetness. This is fear coming into the picture. And that could change this transit of Venus sextile to Bitcoin Saturn. Because this is giving stability, growth. Yeah, stability and growth to the market. But then Chiron comes around with squaring to Jupiter, and it's like it's bringing the overinflated optimism, that Jupiter energy, and bringing things to reality, or reintroducing something that needs to be addressed, information that needs to be addressed, something that is challenging the markets heavily. And so if the 6 isn't positive all day, it could suddenly become negative and challenged emotional reactions due to some information that comes out in the afternoon, evening of the 6th. If not, then the 6th all day will be positive. June 7th, there's no transits. So most likely Chiron squaring to Bitcoin's Jupiter will be present. So that's challenge day on the 7th. Now, it is possible that the energy from Venus sextiling to Saturn does linger on into the 7th, part of the day on the 7th. And then, so the beginning of the day on the 7th is good. Second half of the 7th, it could be very challenged due to Chiron squaring Jupiter. And because Jupiter is the ruling energy of this full moon, part of the cycle that we're in, this could be more challenging than I'm even saying right now. It's 29 degrees of Chiron's at 29 degrees of Aries. This is a critical degree. This, I feel, could be more challenged than I'm anticipating. This could also bring out the energy of full moon squaring to the north node on the full moon. So watch 7th, end of the 6th, June 6th, 7th, and the 8th. Watch out for information that's coming out that's going to challenge the momentum, emotional reactions, setbacks, prices falling down. June the 9th, this will likely be continued momentum from the 8th. On the 9th, Venus is next to Jupiter in the general transits, and Sun is opposite to Lilith. Now, Chiron, challenging Lilith transits, challenging Chiron transits are a recipe for really challenged momentum, negative momentum. I'm not saying the price is going to zero, but I'm just saying the market's prices will be going downwards. Red markets. Venus is next to Jupiter on that day as well. So we could have a bit of relief midday. I have it here around 2 to 4 p.m. Could be a little longer, but it'll just be I feel like it's just a brief period of relief before the challenges come back of Sun opposite to Lilith combined with Chiron squaring to Jupiter. June the 10th, Mercury squaring to Saturn. And in Bitcoin's chart, we have more challenged transits. Sun squaring Uranus, and Mercury's opposite to the Sun. We also have on the 11th, Lilith squaring to Bitcoin's Uranus. So this is just adding on to those challenges. Perhaps something comes out that upsets the market, and then more of the information comes out, more of the secrets, more of the information. The second part of the story comes out, and it re-triggers this emotion, this fear. I have this energy, risk of fake outs, liquidations, and erratic price action. That's the 11th, but that energy will be influencing the 10th. So the 8th part of the day on the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th, I see this as all very challenged, negative, fearful momentum for the market. What could be helping this fearful momentum is Venus connects to Jupiter on the 9th in the afternoon. But overall, I see those days, 8th, 9th, 10th, and the 11th as a bit of a big challenge. Lilith will be in Bitcoin's 12th house. This is also revealing secrets, exposing something, information coming out that was hidden, but now it's being revealed, and that will likely upset the market greatly. Mercury will also be opposite to Bitcoin's ascendant and Sun. So this is information driving the markets, giving fear to the markets, spreading fear like wildfire within the markets. So 12th, because it's the day after Lilith squaring to Uranus, this is sudden, shocking information coming out. But then on the 12th, we have Uranus trine to Mercury. So it's like something comes out, shocks the market, creates this fear, hostility, and chaos. But then on the 12th, something else comes out that could be correcting the information that came out. It could be something else that helps the market to come back. So very volatile time. This transit is positive. But I feel like from the 8th to the 12th, it's like the information is like a ping pong ball. It's going back and forth, challenges greatly, and then comes back to the other way, to the extreme on the 12th. So 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Challenged, it's like the ping pong ball or the pendulum is all the way to the left. And then on the 12th, it just suddenly comes quickly back all the way to the right, giving this sense of optimism and hope and relief. Uranus is in the 5th house. People taking a risk, people taking a gamble on maybe the negative news, people taking advantage of that negative challenges in the market to buy. On the 12th, though, we also have Sun squaring to Saturn, Bitcoin Saturn, and Venus opposite to Bitcoin's Jupiter. 12th, I want to say, could be extremely volatile, very volatile, coming off of this challenged chaos in the markets for the past few days from the 8th to the 11th. And then just the market hearing something else that changes maybe the whole entire story. And maybe now the market's in this sense of just chaos, unsure what to believe, not sure what's up, what's down. So while this is a positive transit, Uranus trine to Mercury, this could be more volatile than positive. So let me change that. I would say it's going to be the 12th, volatile, extremely volatile, up and down prices, or it could be also positive. It could be up, it could be down, it could just be back and forth. The 12th, if you are trading, is a day to watch. There's always money to be made when the market's moving up and down, but I feel it's going to be more volatility than anything else because it's in between these two challenging transits. The 13th, I feel like volatility will still continue. Bitcoin's chart, Sun trine Venus, Neptune, Mars, sextile Uranus. Very positive, extremely positive. Venus squaring to Chiron is not. That is a challenge. And with the Chiron energy of Chiron squaring to Bitcoin's Jupiter, it could be peeling like the Band-Aid off of a wound, exposing the wound again. I see the 12th, the 13th to be more volatile than anything else. There's a lot of energy going on, a lot of very challenged, very positive transits that is creating this back and forth, this pendulum back and forth within the market. I don't see this as having a clear direction of which way to go. It's like it wants to go, but yet it doesn't know which way to go because of so much that's happened over the last, from the 8th through the 11th. The next cycle starts on June the 14th with the new moon in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. It has to do with trading. High movement in the trading prices moving quickly, rapidly. Mercury also goes retrograde this cycle. Challenges, a bit of chaos within the markets, and Uranus will square the North Node and Chiron will enter into Taurus. There's a lot of volatility within this market, a lot of emotions changing rapidly, information coming out, changing the sentiment of the traders. Chiron entering Taurus, there's something that is focusing on the value, the physical value of goods, items, trading money. It's not going to have a direct impact every single day. It's just going to be shifting the value. And that could be shifting the market's value, the price's values. Uranus squaring the North Node at sudden shocks, sudden shifts, changes, shocking revelations. And Uranus retrograde in Cancer, that's emotional. Happens right on that full moon. And Jupiter will also enter Leo. There's a lot of changes, quick moving emotions, affecting the sentiment of the traders, shifting the focus on the traders and the markets. So we'll see how this goes and plays out. And that's all I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you'd like an astrology reading, so we could look at your trading strengths or investment strengths based on your chart, my link is in the description below, and we can look at your chart and understand best choices to make and how to move forward. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.